project today with cutouts, and this is a variant of the project on a larger piece of paper, and Eleanor is still working on it, but you kind of can see where it's going. The black looks really good with all the bright colors, and when she's finished with it, we're going to glue everything down really well, and then we're going to cut it into smaller pieces that she can fold and use as greeting cards to send to friends and family while she's not able to see people. So when we work with Matisse's artwork, he loved to use a lot of color. And so we like to start out with a lot of different colors, and usually very bright colors. He also used black too, but I'm going to start out just by showing you how I cut some of the shapes so that you can see some different ways to create shapes that look like this. Now, there's no wrong way to cut a shape for this activity. You can cut however you want. Let the kids cut some shapes. You can cut some shapes. It's really fun to do. I'm going to pick a couple of colors, and a lot of times what I like to do is layer the paper so that I'm cutting more than one at a time. It's just a little more efficient. So this is going to be kind of a leaf shape, and I'm doing this sort of in and out. So shapes from nature are always good for Matisse projects. So you can see I'm going back and forth, and I'm not worried about them being totally symmetrical. He wasn't worried about that. And you think about nature, things aren't exactly perfect and symmetrical all the time. So those are some kind of fun leaf patterns. I can pick another couple of colors. One of the things that I love to make are these swirls. So for the swirls, I start out with a circle, and then I just keep cutting around. And you want to cut it pretty wide, so you can see how wide it is right now, because then what you have to do is turn and come back. So now I'm cutting that in half. So you don't want to cut it really skinny, because then you won't have enough room for yourself to be able to cut it again. So there we are. And they get stuck together. But here's some swirls, and then you get two sets, because you get the inside cut and the outside cut, which is fun. I'm gonna pick some other colors. Let's see. Yellow's always good. He would sometimes cut shapes that looked like people, and they're pretty simple. So I'm going up for a leg and out for an arm, and then I'm doing a really basic kind of head. It sort of looks like a little Christmas angel or something right now, but and then I cut out in between the legs, and they look, you can tell it's vaguely human shaped, but they look very vibrant and fun. He also would do birds sometimes. So for the birds, it's somewhat similar. You just want more of a pointed in the front. Kind of looks more like an arrow, but arrow, bird, fish. Any shape really. And so leaves are good. If you do, you can cut out just a a basic leaf shape, but then to make it look a little more interesting, you can cut out sections. Of course, you can just keep it solid as well. But this gives a little visual interest to the shape. And then simple shapes like circles and squares, lines, crescents. And you know, sometimes the shapes that come out after you cut are really interesting too. Like sometimes I'll just follow along where I cut before, and that's an interesting shape. So be really playful with it and have fun, and see what you can come up with. And Daphne is working on her project. This is a good size to work on. This is a 12 by 18 piece of paper. If you don't have construction paper at home, you can work with plain white paper, and the kids can color it with crayons ahead of time and make their own colored paper. They can paint the paper ahead of time if you have watercolor or acrylic paint. Of course, let it dry really well before you cut. And but we're using the construction paper, and so she is composing her own design however she wants. And we started with the shapes that I had cut out, and then she's also cutting her own shapes. And she's using some of these fun scissors that give you different effects. So I can cut the shape out and get a different profile than just a straight edge. So if you have scissors like this at home, you can use those. And don't worry about having a lot of paper scraps at the end. You can use these for other things, and you can also just keep using the paper until you use the whole thing. So like this, I could cut off right here, and that might be an interesting shape too. So use what you've already cut and keep going. But she's in the designing phase right now, so she hasn't glued anything. And that's the best thing to do, even with older children, is to design it first, lay things where you want, and then glue it, because they may change their mind. We're using some stick glue today. It's a lot less messy than white glue. If you don't have that though, you can just use regular glue, or even Mod Podge where you paint it on would work. This is our final project. This is Daphne's interpretation of Matisse's cutouts, and she's going to explain it to you.
This is a girl, and she's walking home from school, and she found these leaves, and she picked them up, and she made something out of them, and also she found some branches that she also made with it.
Be sure to tune into our website and look under the Museum School for more videos and fun activities.
And bye for now.
Thanks.